Well, in the Pilot's Advisor podcast, we always talk about financial stuff, but we're going to take a minute here just to have some fun. And I'm curious, Ryan, when did you get your first cell phone? An element of nostalgia for you today.
Well, actually, you're sitting out there in Colorado. The first time I got a cell phone was when I was at the Air Force Academy.
Yeah.
I believe, I would say it was sometime during my freshman year. And of course, we weren't allowed to have them or anything, but that's when they were first coming out, and they were a huge brick. I mean, it was like a brick. And I remember, I think it was AT&T, or I think it was AT&T, Samsung. I don't remember. The phones were, brand new back then. So, and I think the packages, like the minutes was like 60 minutes a month. I mean, it was
and 5 texts. You got like remember our first one. You could text like five times before it started charging you. It was like oh my god.
To think about the packages now, it's hilarious. And even then, it was like you had it wasn't like unlimited long distance and stuff like that. I mean, it was very, very, very basic.
Yeah.
And
did you have a flip phone, or was it one of those like solid? Just the buttons were on the front and it was just a solid brick.
It was a solid brick with like a little opening thing like that, because the battery was so huge.
Okay.
Just to power that thing, which probably only lasted like 30 minutes. I mean, who knows? Yeah. So it's pretty wild how the technology has changed. My wife and I were having fun with each other the other night we were at dinner with another couple, and she was making fun of me because I didn't understand the whole instant messenger thing back in the day. She was more technologically advanced than me, and I'd sent her an email. And she's like, "Why are you emailing me?" And all of a sudden, like the IM or whatever they called it, like pops up, and I'm like, "Oh, who's that? Where'd they come from?"
Yeah. How are you doing this?
Anyway, so
I remember my dad always complaining about instant messenger and being like, "Why don't you just pick up the phone and call them instead of doing all that typing?"
And what spurs probably this conversation, I actually got feedback from a few clients that were like, "Hey, I loved some of the little shorts you guys did, like not talking about financial stuff, like just getting to know you a little bit better." So, so that's a fun question.
Yeah, that's a good one. I held on to mine for a really long time. I don't think I got my first smartphone until I had my first like real job out of college and was actually like in a position of somewhat importance where I needed to, be a little bit more on call and have access to things. And I remember making that transition too. So it's interesting to look back at that tech, isn't it?
Well, and especially I think what it's really changed is there's no time off at all. Like, I mean, I think that back in the day, somebody would leave you a message and you might get back to them in a week. I don't know, a couple of days. And now it's instantaneous. I mean, I feel like I get a text. I feel like, especially with my clients, I try to be very responsive, I try to be very responsive. And ultimately what it creates is a situation where you're never off. I mean, True. I tried to go on vacation with my family here right before my kids went back to school. And I feel like my whole family's on vacation, but I'm not. I mean, I'm sitting there constantly answering emails and texts. And I want a higher level of service for my clients, and I try to live up to that. I mean, I feel a massive responsibility, not only managing their assets, but being able to be there when they need me. So I think a lot of that pressure I probably put on myself. But I don't know what vacation is.
Yeah. Well, one day you'll retire and then you'll really know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll probably die before I retire, but that's a whole nother separate conversation. Actually, that leads into one of the podcasts we were talking about doing. So that'll be good.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there's a teaser. Go check out the podcast, the full podcast channel, and you'll find an episode where Ryan talks about dying, maybe.
Well, it's going to be the one where we talk about quote unquote retirees working into their 60s, 70s, some even in their 80s. But I look at it that way. I want to have a sense of purpose. I want to have a reason to get up in the morning. And unfortunately, I don't know if I'd be very good at retirement. I mean, I know it in advance.
Yeah.
If I woke up every morning and it was just coffee and then, all right, what's next? Get to the gym, get your doctor's appointment squared away, get your pills squared away. Then what? So.
You gotta have a plan. You gotta have an agenda for the day. You strike me as that kind of person for sure.
The other thing that I was thinking about, we do some of these fun bits on the podcast like this, but I don't know if anybody's ever watched Family Guy. I think Family Guy is hilarious. Sometimes I'll just have it in the background when I get sick of watching the market and Fox News. I'll just throw it on just to laugh a little bit. But I was thinking about a bit where, I don't want to be a complainer, but, Peter had that episode where he goes, what really grinds my gears?
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about stuff that people do. And he was on the nightly news talking about all the stuff that really bugged him. And so I want to do that with like financial stuff, like stuff that clients do or don't do that just really grinds my gears.
Yeah, we can call it the grind my gears segment or something like that.
Ryan's complaining again. Who knows? And I like to call it tough love with my clients. Like I actually offend some people and I try to tell them up front. I'm like, hey, my job is not to sit here and tell you you're amazing and you're doing everything right. But I want to be a little bit hard about it, and I call it tough love, like I said, and just, hey, here's a hole in what you're doing. You need to fix this, and we need to get a little bit more disciplined with that. And I don't know. I guess.
Well, if you're just going to have somebody tell you, to do exactly what you're doing and not challenge you, not change a thing, then you might as well just keep doing everything on your own and not hire that coach or that advisor. I mean, same thing with like football coaching, since you love football analogies, right? If you are a football coach and all you do is just say, hey, good job, and clap and do nothing else, you're not going to have a successful football team. You got to push back. You got to point out where there are areas of improvement and opportunities and all those things. Yeah,
what would be the point? I mean, you got to get outside of your comfort zone and be pushed a little bit. Or one of the great football coaches in my past, Larry Fedora, who I know because he coached at University of North Carolina, and I just talked to him a couple of days ago. I love his quote. I still use it to this day. And he just always said, don't tell me about the pain. Show me the baby. Show me the baby.
Don't tell me about the pain. Show me the baby.
Yeah. And that dude ripped. I mean, he was all over me all day long. But it made me a better athlete. And it showed me the level of work and trying to perfect a craft. I mean, it got to a point where I thought I was doing everything perfectly. Like, man, it doesn't get any better than that. And he would still rip my ass. So,
yeah. Hugely important to keep that perspective. Well, fun. This was a great conversation. I think it's a great reminder. It started off just talking about cell phones and all those kinds of things, but I think it's a great reminder to make sure that you're having somebody kind of check your progress on things, making sure that you're on the right track. And I don't know, we still somehow ended up talking about finances out of all this, Ryan. So that was fun.
Oh my gosh, I can't get away from it.
Well, hey, if you're new to the show, if you've never really thought about, serious financial planning as a pilot and wanting to, head in a better direction for your financial future, don't hesitate to reach out to Ryan. One of the best ways you can connect is by ordering your retirement toolkit. This is where Ryan has packed a box full of books, reports, and more great information to help you properly prepare for your financial future, for retirement, and everything in between. You can get that by clicking the link in the description of today's show. And lots of other great information there as well. Ryan, that was a fun one. Thanks so much, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks a lot, Walter.
This episode is for educational purposes only and is not individualized investment advice. The Pilots Advisor LLC is an SEC-registered investment advisor. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal.